To my podcast about sports, about sports, about sports.
Bop, bop, bop. Howdy, Ags. Welcome to the tailgate. See money. What's up?
We're shaking bacon.
Today's sponsor is Matthews Electric, full service electrical contractors in the Brazos Valley. No job too big, no job too small. Call Blaine at 979-220-6403. Light up your home, light up your life.
There you go.
Email us at agstailgate@gmail.com if you want to communicate with us. Hook us up with some commentary on the YouTube. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Uh, Corey, a couple of news and notes coming in for today. One, I'm sure everybody's aware, A&M all the way up to number 4 in the country after a big, big win on Saturday against Florida State. My Ohio State 1, Miami 2, Indiana 3. I'll be honest with you, I think those teams probably deserve it. Maybe Miami the least amount. Uh, but we jumped Ole Miss in the process, who had a little bit of a struggle against Washington State on Saturday.
Why do you feel Ohio State should be that high? Who have they beat? Illinois, who got killed by Indiana. Why didn't Indiana ahead of Ohio State?
Yeah, maybe Indiana should be one. You're
I mean,
you're
I'm just saying,
absolutely right.
Indiana beat Oregon on the road. They beat Illinois. I mean, they beat the shit out of Illinois.
Oh yeah, that wasn't even a game. That thing was
I
over.
mean, you put the Illinois game in the Ohio State game against Indiana. I mean, it seems like Indiana
No,
should be
I,
number
I
one.
can't argue with you. Indiana probably should be number 1.
Yeah. And I just don't know who's Ohio State beat besides Illinois. Texas?
Uh, Texas, who we know about, and they don't play anybody the rest of the year, by the way.
Ohio State doesn't?
Yeah, we'll go through that schedule here a little bit later. I've got it in here somewhere.
Oh, I got it here in my handy dandy Phil Still, who doesn't know shit. But
How do you feel about Phil Steele today?
Jesus Christ, this top 5 picks that he picked for the season, dude, it's embarrassing. Phil Still, you're embarrassing yourself. Number 1 team in the nation, Penn State. Number 2, Clemson. I mean, that's just hysterical. And he's got Notre Dame at 3, Texas at 4. I mean, just the top
Uh,
4. I mean, Phil, here's the trash can.
yeah,
Throwing this
you,
piece of shit
you
away.
you definitely should throw it away. It has not. It also has not helped you with your betting this year.
Not even close. Not even close. I mean, this guy does all this research and comes down to he doesn't know shit. He
That's
doesn't have Indiana ranked high enough, obviously.
Yeah, no, no, no. I've always had a little bit of a problem with Phil Steele because he always has Texas ranked like in the top 5, and even when they suck, so it doesn't matter.
No, I mean, oh, okay, Ohio State's got Wisconsin, Penn State, who sucks, Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers, and Michigan. At Michigan. That might, he
Yeah,
can't beat Michigan ever, so I mean that might be the one game.
no, no, no. I mean,
UCLA is
listen,
looking a lot better.
if they lose a game this year, he should get fired because that schedule sucks. You know,
Hey,
for a while there, you thought Penn State was the big game in that schedule, and they just lost to UCLA and Northwestern, who prior to losing to Penn State were the 2 worst teams in the Big Ten. So,
yes, yes. Yes, that's. I mean, it's embarrassing, man. I mean, James Franklin. I called it. I told you, I was like, that guy's getting fired. And you're like, oh, they
yeah,
owe him too much money.
I
They
didn't think
won't
they'd
do it.
do
I was
it
like,
this season. 50 mil. So
done.
before we talk about James Franklin, I want to go one. So today, you know me and my polos, right? I love my
Yeah,
polos.
yeah,
So today, representing Central Catholic Cheer, my niece was a cheerleader for Central
yeah. Okay.
Catholic, and my nephew played football there. And so today, representing them a little bit.
Good.
You remember what shirt we were wearing during the Notre Dame victory?
Yeah, that's the one, the Pacini shirt, wasn't it?
It was the Pacini tax controversy shirt. So we had some
Pacini
polos made.
tax one.
We were playing a poker tournament sponsoring actually Central Catholic, putting some money towards education over there. And
Yeah.
uh and we had our Pacini tax controversy polo shirts. And ever since that day, by the way, that shirt has been worn on game day. And
By
so
who?
by at least one of us four, it
I know
Brent,
Brent wears it every
Brent
time, doesn't he?
Ferguson Brent wears it every week, and I've
Yep.
worn it, I think, most weeks.
I mean, I wore it that one time.
Can't break the streak now, baby.
Hey, I'm not gonna change it. I can't wear it now because I've already been wearing. I've worn it that one time. It's enough. Beat Notre Dame.
If
I might
if
wear it
Brent
against
doesn't, if
Texas
Brent
or
doesn't
something.
wear it and we lose, he's to blame.
That's true. That fucker.
So James Franklin, man, James Franklin fired. Okay, so I had one question for you when it happened, right? Would is Penn State gonna call Elko?
Oh, I think you have to call him. But
No, your response was something different. What was your response?
I said they're calling the Indiana coach. Is what I said.
Kurt
I
Signetti.
said,
And after you said that, I'm telling you, I fully 100% agree with that. And if they don't forget Elko, if they don't call Kurt Signetti and offer him anything
God,
he
that guy's done so much with
yeah,
nothing. I mean, who is he? Who's his quarterback? Mendoza? Where did that guy come from?
yeah, Cal. So
That's what I'm saying.
his brother is his backup, by the way.
Man,
Um,
I never would have guessed Indiana would have been this good this year.
Look, that's impressive, man. And you're right. If they don't go after him as hard as they possibly can, and you look at the other jobs available, why would he choose anything else other than Penn State? I mean, if Florida comes available, I guess maybe they've got a chance to get their name in that hat. But aside from that, where else would you rather go coach?
Yeah, I mean, Penn State gave James Franklin a butt ton of money. I'm talking an ass ton. And I heard all he did was bitch. I don't know about that being true, but I heard he bitched and moaned about the facilities all the time, NIL all the time. Dude, the guy was getting recruiting. I don't know if he was a great recruiter or they're just going to Penn State because there's nowhere else on the East Coast to go to. But
I
damn,
mean, he's done it. He's recruited where he's been, right? I mean, previously as well. So, I mean, for that place, and you're right. I mean, they've had incredible talent.
dude, I was listening to Louis Delina yesterday, and he made some good points about James Franklin. Like the guy's won like 11 games, 12 games, and like 13 games in the last so many years in a row. And you get fired for having a, I mean, yeah, you lose the UCLA, Northwestern. I mean, he almost beat Oregon. He
They
went to
came they
overtime.
came out today and also said that it wasn't just the three-game losing streak, mostly the last two, right? UCLA, Northwestern,
Oh, yeah.
but it was the inability to win big games over the last 15 years, however long he's been there. Which by the way is true.
But dude, you only can play the games on your schedule. Yeah, you lose the big ones, but still, you win 11, 12. How crazy would we be going right now at A&M if we won 11, 12, 13 games?
Yeah,
I mean, we're going
crazy.
crazy winning 9 games.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
I
not
mean, the
only
Big
did they
Ten,
fire him after doing that, but they paid him $50 million to go home.
crazy, man.
50
All right,
mil.
give me 10% of that and I'll stay home. I won't work.
Look, and I'll tell you what, man. I think there's no chance. Okay, let me rephrase it. Look, I think they're going after Signetti 100%. If they can't get Signetti, I wouldn't be surprised if they call Elko. Let me get on record here. I don't think Elko would take the job, but he is from up in that area, and so you just never know.
Well, you know who the front runner is, right now? They're talking about
Who?
Matt Rule.
I don't think so. I think they're going to go after
That's
Signetti.
the
Whoever's saying
reason
that,
being. You know why the reason is he Rule played there.
I don't care.
He
Okay,
walked on,
Rule has not
and he's
won like
good buddies
Signetti.
with the AD. He's good buddies with the AD. The AD is the one
Rule,
that hired him at somewhere. I can't remember where it was.
that dude has
Temple.
not won anywhere close to what Signetti has. If they go after
What?
without calling Kurt Signetti, they should all be fired.
Well, they should call Signetti, but I'm saying Matt Rule's the one everywhere he's gone. He's one. He turned Temple around. He turned Baylor around when
Oh, how
Baylor was.
many how many how many playoffs how many playoffs has he been to?
Dude, the playoffs just started a couple
Okay,
years
but
ago.
before there was a 14 playoff. How many of those did he go to?
I mean, Indiana go to on a 14 playoff.
He's only been in Indiana 2 years, and this is his second. He was at the playoffs his first time around. So,
I'm just saying.
and he looks pretty good
Okay,
for
let
his
me ask
second
you
year.
this: you put Indiana in the SEC. Where is Indiana? Are they still at the top of the class?
Yes,
Oregon?
yeah, they're up there.
Because I mean, you look at the SEC. Kentucky sucks, but besides that, I mean, you got teams like Auburn and Florida. They're beating teams
I think the
that
difference is
are,
this. I think the difference is this. The Big Ten's got some really, really good top end. So, you know,
yeah,
Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State. At this point, it's those three. At the beginning of the season, a lot of people thought include Penn State in that, right?
right.
That group with Illinois probably a little bit behind, a little behind them as a pretty good team. Are,
Michigan,
but those are top.
USC.
Those are top teams, and any one of those top three, by the way, could win the SEC. Not necessarily that they would, but they could.
But I'm saying they have a better chance of losing games if they're in the SEC. I'm saying a team like Auburn could probably beat maybe in Indiana. Because Auburn got
No,
effed this
no,
weekend. Auburn got screwed this
yeah,
weekend. Did you watch that? Did
yeah,
you watch it?
yeah. I watched that, but
I mean, they had a chance to go up 17-3, I think.
yeah,
That was a
the final
freaking
score
that was
was
a touchdown.
20 to 10, so it still could have been 20 to 17 after that.
But dude, that changes everything. Your whole game
Sure,
style changes if you're down 17-3.
sure, sure.
But I'm just saying, because you're not moving. Georgia in the first half, Auburn was by far the better team.
No, agreed. But Auburn continues to have the problem that they can't throw the football, right? I mean, and their quarterback's just
Yeah.
not any good.
Yeah, and I saw something Heisman poll earlier that Jackson Arnold was on it because he hasn't thrown any interceptions or some bullshit. The
Yeah.
guy can't throw for shit. He hasn't thrown an interception because he can't hit anybody. He can't hit the defense or the
Yeah.
offense.
He doesn't even hit the field. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just he throws it out of bounds or he runs.
No, but here's my thing, right? The top of that Big Ten is just as good as anybody in the SEC. Just as good. To me and you're right, you need to add USC to that, to Illinois. There's some other good teams.
Yeah,
But then it drops off real quick, right? Over in
real
the
big.
Big Ten. While
Purdue.
SEC, you've got to basically, I mean, we're going to go through first edition of the SEC Tailgate Power Rankings coming up today. So we won't talk about this thing in order because don't want to, ruin the surprise. But you've got a group of, 10, 12 teams, which you could just basically all bunched up in there, right? That who knows? You could lose any week to any one of those.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so let's get into this Florida game. 34-17 is the final. They allowed 319 yards to Florida. Aggies had 417. Rushing, it was 74 to 183. Passing, 245 to 234. Third down conversions. Florida was 1 of 10 on third downs. Aggies 9 of 17. We're going to get to that third down stat. And this is
Ah,
a big one. This is a big one. Penalties, Florida 6 for 54. That's whatever, fine. Aggies, who have had a huge problem with penalties all year long, 3 for 30.
three.
That is monster.
Made a
That is
big difference,
monster.
man. Made a big difference. I didn't pay much attention to it until after the game. Like, I don't think we got that many penalties. And then it was three. I was like, shit. Because it's obvious in the other games, you're like, fudge, another penalty.
Let me say this, man. That's a big credit to Elko too. The way they've improved that from where they were 2 weeks ago to where they are today. I'll give Elko and that staff a lot of credit for that, and
Did
and
you
those players.
did you hear Elko and York and them talking?
I heard it. Yeah.
Did you hear about if they got less than four penalties, what they were getting?
No, I missed that part.
They're getting golf carts to take them from the parking lot to the way to the I don't know wherever.
I'll be completely honest with you. I'm surprised they don't already have golf carts. So there you go.
Yeah,
They must be getting more golf carts because I see a lot of golf.
probably. Yeah, probably for their families.
No, that's a huge thing, and so credit to them. Look, On the other side of it, special teams still so, right? Probably best game for our punter White. That was probably his best game of the season. But once again, missed field goal that look, that could have cost this team. It really was the field goal that
Did
could have
cost
put
the
this
team.
game kind of away, right? It could have put this game away, and instead, Florida had a couple more chances to go in there and tie, right? Because of that field goal miss. That was huge.
Sorry.
Um, Look, if they don't get that fixed, it's probably going to cost this team at some point. I mean, there's a high likelihood that it will. Um, so Corey, let's go A&M defense against this Florida offense. Look, I don't want to make this out to be like, oh, Florida's so great because they just played us, right?
Mhm.
We're not gonna go Texags on everybody and tell everybody how great Florida is. The fact of the matter is that they're a 2-4 football team, and that offense has been, I mean, pretty poor throughout the season. But I'll tell you, I do think that there is some improvement there because of the fact that you've got Lagway, who basically didn't practice all off season and all of a sudden came right into the season. He didn't have those reps and he's starting to get those reps. You can tell he's getting a little bit better rhythm also with his group of wide receivers. Once again, they're not a great offense, but um, I got to
They
give a
got
lot
talent.
of credit to this Aggie defense and the way they played on Saturday,
Yeah.
especially after that first drive, right?
Yeah. That's why I was curious how many yards they got on the first three drives for Florida and the rest of the game, because I bet they got 150 yards in three
Oh, it was
drives.
two 75-yard drives in the first three. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So 150, and I think they only finished with how much for the game?
They
You got it?
finished with 319.
So, I mean, shit, they got half their yards through the first three possessions. So I mean,
Yeah.
kudos to Elko and them. That's locking them down. I'm talking like 3.5 quarters. They locked them down because I
Yeah.
mean, from the halfway through the first quarter, almost on, it was Florida couldn't do anything.
Look, and that defense had 3 sacks. They had something like 6 tackles for loss. They had two fumble recoveries, right? Three forced fumble, two fumble recoveries. I mean,
Yep,
not only are they solid, right? Because ultimately on against the run, which we've always talked about, they got to quit giving up the big plays on the run. They stopped it. 94 non-sack rushing yards. It's about 4.5 a carry, but when you go look at it, they had two that were about I think like 10, 15 and 16 or so, and the rest of them were nothing, right?
yeah,
Nothing. And so I'll tell you, I'm just super impressed about how much they've turned that piece of it around. The run defense, ever since they've really made some adjustments to some of the scheme that they were doing after the Notre Dame game, man, they've just been absolutely excellent. And they're going to have to continue, obviously, to do that. It's a credit to that defensive line, which was played in pretty darn incredible.
yeah, absolutely, man. I'm just really impressed with the whole defense. I mean, guys that I wasn't expecting much out of. Hayes, guys, that guy was a beast this game.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's getting better every week. Him,
Mhm.
T.O., I mean, I was reading about, and Phil Still, he didn't say much about those guys, but he should be. I'm just saying.
No, and you're absolutely right because everybody talks Cassius Howland, dude, for good reason. That dude's a freaking monster right now,
Yeah.
and having a great season. But and is the leader of that defensive line for sure. But like you just named a couple, right? Hayes, To, but Regis has been great
Regis.
all year, right? Super solid, also a
Guy's
leader.
got a motor for a big guy. He's got a motor. He keeps going.
Yeah,
They
and
all do, actually.
And so you're getting contribute. Hicks has started to really produce now, man. He's starting to become one of those guys, dude. He's in now. He's one of the starters, by the way. He's up in there. He's start getting the starts. Like I love that, dude. That dude has the potential to keep on getting better. So now you're looking at interior depth, and they're able to do it with fresh guys on the field. I mean, and they're all producing, man. And then you add Evans into that mix, who's starting to get into it as well, and he's been playing pretty well.
Hey, does Scooby play?
Scooby played, yeah. Scooby played some
I thought I heard his name or
field.
something out there, but
Sanford started. I'll tell you what, man, and so we talked defensive line, and I think it's great because those guys have been able to put pressure without
yeah,
having to bring extra numbers. With Cassius, with Hayes, those guys in the interior, even also doing some damage. But so that front four's doing that. That group of linebackers right now is also playing about as good as we've seen linebackers play here at A&M, and I don't know how long. And
yeah.
York is playing well, but Sanford all of a sudden looks like a monster. It seems like every big play he's involved in some way.
I'll tell you, it's night and day from the defenses we had a couple years ago. Guys just don't look like they're out of position right now. They look like they know what they're supposed to be doing, and they're doing it. I mean, even when they get beat with a deep pass, it's not like they got beat. Sometimes it happens,
It happened.
but they're not out of position. The guy's not running 30 yards downfield behind us, and somebody's like,
Yeah.
what happened? It's just maybe it was a great pass and a good catch. I mean, shit happens, but for the most part, our defense has been in position. They've been making plays. They're tackling. God, they're tackling really well. I mean, York, that guy, I was busting his balls earlier this year, but he's all over the field.
He's
Sanford,
played.
all over the field. Anytime there's a big play, it seems like Sanford is right there.
Sanford is always in the middle of it. And now you add Scooby Williams back into that mix. And there's going to be times maybe you want to get York out and give him a breather. Or you want to get Sanford out, give him a breather, whatever. But that's a huge addition to that group. Sanford has all of a sudden become the best of the damn linebackers, which is crazy. But York's leadership is key, right? I mean, clearly
Yeah,
that dude, is always communicating and doing the things on the field that are needed to be done in order to make sure that the defense and does what you talked about, avoid the blown assignments. And, they've also made some adjustments schematically, right? They're allowing those safeties, and we'll get into the secondary now because I think the secondary has been absolutely ridiculously good. But they're allowing those safeties to come up in the box, and all of a sudden with Ratcliffe and Brooks, man, those guys are playing as good as they've ever played. I mean, you're getting the best out of everyone at every level, right? There's no level that you look at in that defense and say, "Oh man, that's the scary part," right?
yeah. Seriously, I mean, at first we were like D line, interior, pass rush, linebackers, But I tell you, man, they complement each other so well. How rushes on the outside. Hayes is getting better moves, but he can bull rush you. I mean, like you were saying with Hicks and Regis and all those guys on the interior, they bring something different. Regis is so big, and I mean he'll block you up and you can't run by him. You know what I'm saying? But he's nimble. It's nimble for every guy. He's like he talked about. I'm taking on double teams. Hal's getting single. They can't cover him by himself. They can't block him by himself. They get on him. They got to deal with me and To, and it's it's almost not fair. And I feel for other teams. I mean, Sanford has the best instincts of all the linebackers. The guy knows where to be. He feels the game. Scooby's the best athlete of the bunch. That guy, he can
And I don't
cover
know,
anybody.
Sanford seems to be a pretty darn good athlete too. He might be right there.
Sanford's good, but he just has those instincts. He knows where the ball's going to be, where they're going. He reads the offense real well. And York, like you said, is a leader. York just keeps everybody in check. And I mean, just the way they're all working together, it's just good team football.
So, they come out, man, and they march down the field like there's not even a defense out there, right?
He made you
You
nervous,
know,
didn't it?
they do a couple of things. Mike Elko's got the guys backed up. They're kind of soft, yada yada. And I think they were doing some things. Had some guys in the box, but they didn't cover the tight end, right? Big play by the tight end, and then it's like
Imagine that.
uh, then they were so backed off they throw it real just the quick out or quick hitch to the receivers. They were just soft, right? And they go down the field and then end up with the tailback hitting the tailback, and he was wide open, and it's just whoa, like we're what's going on. And we talked about it too, like, hey, let's just go up there and I mean let's press those son of a guns and put some pressure on this dude, make him do something, right?
We
and
say that
and
every week. But go ahead.
and and he did, right? And he did. And
Yep.
the second drive, a stop. Third drive, the only we talked about it, right? Well, sometimes you're going to give up that fade route on, especially when their wide receiver makes it. Hell, one of them, Ricks, damn near got his hand on it, right? He was sitting there.
Yeah, I thought he did touch it.
And so like, but my theory, if you can do that consistently all day, go
Good
for
luck.
it. Good
Yeah,
luck.
good luck
You know
to
what I
you.
mean?
I'll tip my hat to you and be like, hey, that's a hell of a play. You got me.
So, and that's how they scored that second touchdown. With the touchdown, the last piece was, they matched up Wilson on Ricks, and I thought, and I said it before the game, right? Like they should have Lee on Wilson all day because the physicality. I don't think Ricks can cover that guy physically in one of those one-on-one jump ball type situations. That dude's just too big, too
Right.
physical.
He is big. He's physical.
But Ricks was there, right? He was there on that one. He
Yeah.
was there on the other ones on the sideline on the other side. And I think they did adjust that as the game went on. You saw Lee on him a lot more.
Right.
Um, yeah, so basically, I guess what I'm saying is after that first drive, they really didn't give up anything, right? Yeah, that third drive, they gave up that touchdown, but really it was those kind of 50-50 balls. I thought the defense actually played pretty well.
I thought so too. Thought they played really well. I mean, the first drive, I turned the game on and it was already started and they were getting ready to score. I was like, when they showed replays of what happened, I was like, man, is this like the beginning of the season again? Are we starting over? But they settled in. And like you said, they started pressuring them and that works. And it's
Worked.
worked every game that he does it. The backing off hasn't worked. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was super impressed with the obviously how they came out after that first drive. And I'll tell you, like we said it, right? The front's doing their job, the linebackers getting their shit done. The DBs, man, played incredibly on Saturday. That's a really talented, very, very talented wide receiver group. That's a talented quarterback, right? That group played excellently. I mean, like I said, there was a couple of balls there where, kind of jump balls, but other than that, man, they didn't really give up anything. And I will start with Chappelle. Tyreek Chappelle was, I mean, best game of the season for him. He was up in it, coverage wise, excellent. I mean, and he does so much to take away that slot position, dude. He's such a difference maker.
Oh, the guy's amazing. I've been on his a fan of his since he's been at A&M. I mean, they don't bring him after the quarterback quite as much as they used to, but the guy he can do some amazing things.
Yeah, I mean, 5 tackles, a half a tackle for loss, 2 pass breakups on the game. And that's a pretty. Those are really good numbers for a guy that's in coverage all day. And
Yeah,
then Lee, you didn't. I don't think we even saw Lee that much in the game because they wouldn't throw
just
towards
throw
him.
it to him.
Yeah,
Nope, you shut
yeah.
him down.
It was incredible, man. Great performance. Kudos to that defensive staff. Kudos to Elko. Kudos to those players, man, that are absolutely getting after it on that defense. Um, I can't say anything more about that defense. I clearly believe that they're 1 for 33 in 3 games on giving up third downs.
That's
Never happened in the SEC. That has never
that's
happened in
crazy.
the
That's a
SEC.
crazy stat. What did you say that? Say that one more time.
Oh, sorry, 2 for 33. Two first downs
Yeah,
in 33 attempts against this defense.
crazy. It's crazy.
That's insane. Has never happened in this league ever.
But it's starting on first and second down because we're getting them behind the
100%.
lines, and it's
100%.
so. I mean, they're just. It's not just third down; it's every down. They're just they're doing great, man. It's awesome.
So defensive player of the game for you?
I mean, Sanford played great. York played well. Hal only had the one sack, but he was
Active.
there.
Active.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
they were focused on him. He got held. I don't know how many times they didn't call holding on.
Yeah.
They could have, but I mean Hayes just did these things that impressed me, and I like Hayes a lot. I'm gonna go with Hayes this game.
And that's the impressive part, man, is they're playing such good team defense all together that I mean most weeks you've got several that you can go with. And I'm gonna go with Chappelle. I think the guy was a difference maker on Saturday.
Yeah,
All right,
I'd go ahead Hayes.
A&M offense and what they did against a really good Florida defense, right? A Florida defense that, I mean, shut down Texas, a Florida defense that hadn't given up 31 points all year, right? Like they hadn't given up 30 points all year. Like they played Miami, right?
Hmm.
Who's supposedly one of the best offenses in the country. They didn't give up 30. You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah, no, absolutely.
they played tech, like they've played guys. They haven't given up these points. And the Aggie offense went down there, 234 yards passing on 9 attempts. That's nine per attempt, a touchdown. He did throw the pick, but more importantly, they went 42 carries for 183 yards on the ground, dude. They did not give up a sack. They did not give up a tackle for loss all day. And that is why I want to start today with the offensive line, who I'll tell you right now, that offensive line is already my offensive player of the game. Those dudes were freaking hosses on Saturday, and that's the best I've seen them play.
No, I agree. The offensive line has been amazing. Dude, where do you start with the offensive line? I mean, is it Zune? Is it? I
Look,
mean, who
Zoom,
is?
by the way, in the third quarter, and at one point moved into center so that Father could come out and get his reps with that group, and at left tackle, and they looked good. By the way, looked good. It was a great drive. So go ahead though.
No, I'm sorry. My kids' iPads are going off. They're getting out of school, and all their friends are starting to messenger them and call them and stuff. So I'm dealing with kids. But no, man, offensive line's been amazing. I'm excited to see how they react next game, the next few games on the road. But just watching them at home, I mean, the running game's been amazing. Yeah, the Moss injury's big, but dude, we got a stable of backs that I think can pick up the slack for a little bit. They're not as good as Moss, but
Yeah.
that offensive line makes them all look pretty good, don't they?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, and I want to shout him out, man, because you got Crown over who's been, had the some of the penalty issues early, and he's
Yeah, he's turned his
cleaned
game
up.
around.
Yeah, he's cleaned up his act. Reed Adams, who's also had some penalties on him early, he's kind of started getting out of that and playing pretty doggone well there at the right tackle spot. You know, Naboo at center has been pretty solid all year, and he's
Yep.
gotten some rotate. Coley getting in there in the rotation, and then Zune also getting some reps in there, and then obviously Basantis at left guard. He every once in a while he loses a guy in a gap, things like that. But the guy plays so hard. It's fun to watch him play. And then obviously Zune at the left tackle, who, he just doesn't make dumb mistakes, right? Will he get beat every once in a blue moon? So yeah, maybe. But the
Hmm.
dude, like no mistake. He's always in the right spot and just so solid, you know.
Oh yes, absolutely. And don't forget the tight ends pitch in there too, man. Those guys ain't afraid to get in there and get dirty.
Hey, look,
It's
Burkitcher, and let's talk about that because, look, Burkitcher, that dude's now become one of the most important pieces on this offense, man. He got the
he's a
guys.
threat.
He's a threat, and not only that, block wise in the run game, he's been a difference maker, right? Compared to
Yeah.
what we've had in the last couple of years as blockers at the tight end room, this dude has been excellent, man.
And that's what I mean. I was going into the season thinking that's what these guys are going to be is just blockers. But dude, you know this game, how many catches our tight ends had?
I want to say 8.
Bingo.
Yeah,
That's impressive. Remember
dude,
last game, we
love
had
it.
guys with like one catch here, one catch here. Casey and Rio had like 20 each or some shit or targets. But dude,
That's
the
huge.
tight ends keep that defense honest right there,
Nyblock
baby.
Nyblock had a couple of real nice,
Yeah.
good tight. Last week he
Yeah.
had a real nice catch, right? Theo had his share in there, a couple there, and then Burkitcher, man, who keeps just making plays. You know, so going back to your comment about Moss, so Moss, for those who haven't heard, Moss is probably out for several weeks. Hopefully back this season, right? Is kind of the thing that they say that they think that he's going to be back, but who knows when. So look, we've talked about it. We think that this guy is definitely by far the best back on in this roster, but we do love our other running backs, man. And you're right. Owens and look, Morrow, dude, I love that kid. But Daniels obviously and Smith as well. So we've got enough depth to hold things off. But it is a little bit of a step down, I think. And I'm not saying it should cost us a game or anything, but I will tell you that with Moss in the backfield, man, I feel real good.
Oh yeah, especially short yardage. That guy, he sees the hole, hits the hole. That's the only thing about the difference between him and Reuben Owens. Owens pitter pats, Moss doesn't pitter pat. He sees it, hits it, gone. I mean, that
And
run he had for a touchdown at 22 yards, that was a run, man. I mean,
dude,
yeah,
that's a
good
man's run
blocking,
right
but
there. Yeah, that's a
yeah,
man.
that was badass.
Yeah.
But I
And
mean,
here's
dude, we got depth. We got Reuben Owens who stepped up this year. Amari Daniels, I'm surprised he's not getting more carries. He's talented.
yeah.
And then
He's
EJ
gonna so
Smith
his
showed
carries are
up.
about to go up, morals are about to go up, right? Um,
EJ Smith showed up.
yeah. You know,
So I mean,
and you're right, but I do think we're seeing Owens start playing better and better. I think sometimes he's so fast, he's to the hole too quick, right? Like he almost needs something to slow him down.
I feel like he stutter steps too much and just he's I don't know. I just want to see him find the hole and hit it and go. I don't know if he's not finding the hole or what, but sometimes it just
I also
I
thought
don't
the
know.
offensive line was better with they started doing a lot of gap blocking scheme, pulling guys and that kind of stuff instead of zone. And I thought they were better there compared to the zone scheme. They're good in the zone scheme, but I just think they're better the other way, and we've been able to get bigger runs out of that. But we're not too concerned about the running back room. We know that you're taking a step back without Moss, but we're not too concerned about that room. We love the wide receivers. We've said it over and over again. Look, this to me is the big thing here, and I'm once again I say it every week. There's no bigger Marcel guy on this planet, and this dude has played well. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying he's played poorly. The guy's played well, but I think more importantly, he still has another step. Like he still has another step to go. So as good as we've seen him play, the dude can get better. And let me tell you exactly where he needs to pinpoint that. And that's he gets when as the game goes, and you can look at it in this game specifically, right? First drive, he hits Burkature, he hits Morrow on some underneath stuff with the two wide receivers getting covered up over there, right? Actually, that was the second drive, right? First drive, I called it by the way, didn't I call it before the game? Play action, deep pass needs to be the first play. Boom.
I don't remember.
Mario.
I didn't see it. I don't know. I don't remember you saying that. Did you say
I said,
that?
I said that. I said
Okay.
Mario down the middle. What a freaking phenomenal play, phenomenal
That
throw.
was a great pass too. That was a good
Yeah.
pass.
Phenomenal throw. And then the run for him on the touchdown, boom, 7-0, 2 play, 7-7, 2 plays. After you watch that defense get absolutely annihilated, and you're like, oh, well, okay.
I
I guess,
know. You're like, oh shit,
yeah,
here we go.
I guess if our offense is gonna do this, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they get the ball back, and then they go Burkitcher, they go Morrow, and they get the play calling was excellent, right? Those first two drives, man, just impressively good play calling. He got those different things. And then when Moss got hurt, and I think that was the fourth drive of the game, right?
It was early.
And when he got hurt, you can understand, like it seemed like everybody kind of took a little, boy, that offense, and so that drive, 3 and out, I think, on that one. And I mean, you can't blame the group, right? But the rest, he went forward up until those last two scoring drives in the fourth quarter, you
Hmm.
know, you go watch them, and all of a sudden, you've got Mo no Moss, right? Marcel is sitting there and it's almost like he's so focused on trying to get the ball to Mario and to KC that he loses focus of everybody else, man. And that's where he needs to get better because on many of those plays, I mean, the interception that he tried to get into double coverage over there, that was
Who
the
was that
K
too? You
that was
throwing
the
that to Rio
KC.
or KC?
That was the
It was the
KC.
KC.
You got Bussy coming across the middle of the field open.
Did
right?
Bussy even get targeted at all? I remember Bethel Roman getting targeted once or twice, but I don't
No,
remember Bussy.
I don't think so. And he would, like I'm saying, he's coming open underneath. Like you've got to see it, right? When those guys are bracketing those two outside wide receivers, which they started doing a lot on Saturday, you because their corners, by the way, we talked about their corners couldn't take them by themselves, right? They could not cover them by themselves. And so the
Yeah, I
moment
don't
they
think too
started
many can.
bracketing those guys, you have to come back and start hitting some of those. And he did do some with the tight ends. We talked about the 8 receptions, but look for that third receiver as well. I think Bussy had a couple of chances where he could have made a play. And overall, that's his one thing. Like, don't always fall in love with those guys so much that you got to just force it to them. You've got weapons, man. Bring it back down to the tailbacks, to the tight ends, and to those guys. Because what's going to happen eventually if you keep throwing it to those guys? What's going to happen, Corey?
It's going to open up the rest of the game. It's going to open up the rest of the guys. They're going to have to. I mean,
Yeah,
it's almost like running the ball well. I mean, they're going to have to suck in and respect that. They're not respecting that now.
they won't bracket. They can't bracket both of those guys on the outside if you keep completing those because eventually they're going to. Oh, we're not. We got to do something, right?
And dude, I'll be honest, I had no idea Rio was that good.
No.
But
Oh, whoa.
KC runs routes as good as anyone I've seen. That guy KC is he's amazing. He runs good routes, great hands, and when he gets the ball, whew, he's quick.
Look, and the last thing I'll say here on this offense is those last two drives where finally they just said, the heck with it, hand the ball off, and they just pounded the rock in the fourth quarter. One for a touchdown, then one for a field goal. And they basically ate up the entire fourth quarter, man. Just handing the ball off. I think there was one pass in 2 drives.
Yeah,
That is SEC winning football. That is national championship winning football. The ability to sit there and do that against a team that we know has a pretty good defense, are big up front, have those kind of athletes. That's huge, man. And if you look around the country, the teams that have deficiencies on their offensive line and everything else, a lot of them, right? Throughout the SEC, A&M does not have that problem. They are physical and they can get you on offense by pounding the rock.
very balanced team. I like to see, like you were saying, Marcel be a little bit more consistent, calm down a little bit, and he played. I want to see it like the first couple drives throughout the game. I'm not saying he has to throw a 75-yard bomb to Fravor, but
And we'd like to
consistent
see that
drives.
happen naturally, but on Saturday you saw some of it happen on Klein play calling, right? Where they were targeting some of these other receivers early, right?
I
And so,
liked it, and I
and,
like that.
and so Klein may have to continue to do that until until he gets into a better rhythm with some of that.
Yeah.
Uh, I told you my offensive player of the game was the offensive line. Who do you
Oh,
got?
I'm right there with you, 100%, 100%.
Hey, the Aggies go to Fayetteville, 2:30 p.m. ball game on ESPN. A&M is 7.5 point favorite, 62.5 over under. Arkansas is 2-4. New coach Bobby Petrino, and this will be his second game as the head coach. Also, it'll be the second game for this defensive staff that struggled last week, but obviously they were only a week in, so maybe they're getting better. Uh, Petrino obviously knows some of the Aggie personnel. Aggies coming into this game, obviously on a roll, but now they got to go on the road. 3 straight games on the road. Corey, this is a big one. This is a big one, right? This is huge. You can't overlook this squad knowing that you're going to LSU next week. You can't overlook this Arkansas squad because they will bite you in the ass.
No, I agree. I totally agree. It's Arkansas, the quarterback, Kalen Green, very, very talented. Um, their offense is going to score some points. They're not going to be. They might be down 14 or 17. They're not out of the game. It happened last week against Tennessee. Um, I'm not sure about their defense if it makes you nervous, but Arkansas is going to try to outscore you. They're going to want to get in a shootout. I mean,
Yeah.
their games, I mean, they scored 52, 56, 35 against Ole Miss, 31 against Memphis. only 13 against Notre Dame, 31 against Tennessee. So I mean, they're putting up points and they're going to throw the ball deep. They're going to test that secondary. Their their offensive line is not as good as I thought they'd be. We should be able to get pressure, but you got to watch Green. The guy's he's six
There's
five, 6'6", and he can run.
Look, Taylor Green is the focus point here, right? Because whether he's the one throwing the football or he's taking off on a scramble on throwing plays,
Mm-hmm.
or in the running game, called running game, where you got to respect him anytime he's putting the ball in the belly of that running back, right? He may keep and take it out there also. So man, he is the focus of this team. He makes the people around him better. But you're right. I mean, athlete for athlete, those guys don't match up with the Aggies, right? They
No,
don't match up with the Aggies. He can hurt you though. And they've done it to everybody. So, we can say, hey, they don't match up with Tennessee and whoever, and they put those points up. And look, we all know Petrino's a good coach. The dude's gonna find your weaknesses and try to attack them, right? And so, he's gonna do the same thing, a little bit of motion, some misdirection, some things, and then he's gonna attack you over the top, right? He's gonna attack you over the top. And man, I'll tell you, that offense gives me a little bit of pause because man, Taylor Green can make you look silly sometimes, right?
I mean if you look at the numbers, we have a common opponent, Notre Dame, correct?
Yeah, I don't know that
I'm
you
just
can. I
saying,
don't
we
know
went
that
on the
you
road,
can
beat
equate it
Notre
though. That
Dame
right? That was
at Lincoln.
the last game for Sam Pittman, dude. That thing was
I'm
they
just
played the
saying
worst game of the season. I don't know.
that's an 56-13. I mean, I'm gonna go back and look at tapes. I
Yeah,
would if I was Elko and see like what Notre Dame did, what's successful because we can do whatever Notre Dame does. I'm not gonna say better, but pretty close.
yeah, I agree. No,
You know what I'm saying?
and so and we'll talk about a prediction here in a minute, but yeah, I mean, as much as they're scoring, I still like our defense against that group, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then you go to the other side, and look, I promise you now. That defense doesn't have they don't have the horses to play with the Aggies, right? And number one, right, they're up front, they're okay. Their linebackers are all right, but they're small, they're runners, right? They're go run, they're sideline to sideline guys. If you line up and pound those dudes, that's not going to work out well for Arkansas, and it hadn't worked out well for Arkansas. You got big corners, so again, our guys are going to tear them up if you leave them one on one all day.
Right.
That's just not going to happen. So you're going to have to use those safeties again to try to bracket those things. You're going to have opportunities to do things against this defense all day long, starting with the run game. I if the Aggies play, if the Aggie offense comes out and executes and plays correctly, well, there's not a drive that they won't score. That's how good I feel about this matchup on offense.
Well, they always say there's a couple things that travel. That's defense and your offensive line, right? And we're strong in both those categories. Now, on the road so far this year, we played Notre Dame. We gave up a lot of points. Uh, this will be another road test. History for A&M road tests. I mean, we passed it this year. We beat Notre Dame, right?
I expect it to be a pretty raucous crowd over there because, this is Petrino's first game as the head coach back at home, right?
Yeah.
So, those guys
I
at
expect a high
Arkansas,
scoring
they love
game.
Petrino, by the way. At Arkansas, they love him. I expect this place to get ruckus. They want to beat the Aggies every year. They always give us a tough test, by the way. Always. All right.
Yeah, they do.
What's your prediction?
Man, I think the Aggies 42 to like 31. I think it's gonna be a really high scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if Arkansas is ahead at halftime. I mean, just to tell you, I think they're gonna come out fired up. I could see them up like 21 to 17 or something at half, somewhere around there, but Aggies pull it out 42-31, something like that.
No, I think they're going to win 41 to 24. And I think that offense is they're going to hand the ball off. They're going to run the football. and they're going to have big plays in the passing game as Arkansas adjusts. And I think that they're going to go up and down the field offensively, 41-24. That's my prediction. And I do think the defense
What
is
did I say,
going to
42-31?
stifle. I think that defense is going to stifle Arkansas a little bit.
So both of those are Aggie covers and the over.
Yeah.
See where our
The
money's
only
going this
reason
week.
I wouldn't take the over is because the Aggie defense could play that well, and Arkansas doesn't even score.
I just think Arkansas is going to score because I think that quarterback's too good to keep him. I mean, the numbers speak for itself. The only game they've scored less than 30 points is against Notre Dame. They scored 13, but they gave up 56. So I think,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and that's the thing. I mean, if our team plays to
One
their
thing
potential,
the
we
thing
should
is,
beat
if
the
you get
shit out
up
of
on
them.
them like that, and they showed it in that game against Notre Dame, that team could quit on them, right?
Yeah. I mean, turnovers are going to be a key. If we can, Green will turn the ball over. Don't get me wrong. He will. He'll try to fit it in a
He's a
window that's not
big
there.
playmaker. He's a big playmaker.
Yeah. He ain't afraid to take chances. He's on gun it. I mean, you're going to see some deep shots. That secondary will be tested.
Well,
And so
let's
guys
hope it comes
ready.
out as we're predicting. I certainly, you win this game, man. I think you're in a really good position. Really good
So who's
position.
your player of the game? Who do you think's going to be player of the game?
I wouldn't be
Offense.
surprised if it's Ruben Owens.
I think it's going to be. Man, I'm gonna go on a limb here. I think somebody's gonna have a big game because we haven't talked about him. I think it's gonna be Bussy because I think Bussy's gonna show out just like you're talking about. The guy, he's due.
Yeah.
The guy's
Not
too
only that, but
talented.
your boy Klein does a pretty good job of trying to get guys involved that he didn't get involved the week before, right? So, you
Yeah, I
know,
mean, all the tight ends got caught passes. I mean, 8 catches for 3 tight ends. Uh, I mean, if Arkansas gets started like they did, like Florida did, I think Bussy could be in for a big game. I think Bussy. The only reason I'm saying Bussy is because the guy's too talented to keep down. You and I've been on the Bussy
true that.
bandwagon for 2 years now, and we're just
And
waiting
what I
for him to
love
blow.
about him, dude, is you go watch him on the plays when he's not getting the ball, dude's blocking his ass off. Dude's
Hey,
doing
you got to reward that. You got to reward that.
it. Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
All right, so Corey, the inaugural Tailgate SEC Power Rankings, baby. And some
I'm
people
ready.
like to go like bottom to top, Not me, sir, because I want to make sure we spend our time at the top and then at the bottom, who gives a crap about those teams, right?
Right.
Look, I'm going to start off at number one. Some people are going to talk to me about being a homer, whatever, right? But to me, the number one team in the SEC Power Rankings is the Texas A&M football team. And the
Right.
reason I say that is because to me they're the most complete team for what they've shown so far this year against the guys that they've played. They're the most complete team. They can beat you because their defense absolutely dominates you. They can beat you with their offense absolutely dominating you. The offensive line is the best offensive line in the SEC, hands down. It's not even close. I
Okay.
mean, to me, that group up front on both sides of the ball, you've got guys that can make plays. The defense is getting turnovers, they're getting pressure. There's all the things that we talked about prior to the season that you have to do to be successful. They are doing. This team, I think, so far this year has shown should be at the top of the rankings in the SEC. They are the top team to me. How about you?
I am right there with you. I want to see it on the road more. I want to see because the only road game I've really who we played Notre Dame,
Notre Dame.
and that our defense the first couple games. I want to make sure that we travel. I want to make sure this defense is for real before
Next
I
3
give
weeks.
them the notch. And I'll tell you what, our offense has played good. We played Notre Dame's the best game we played, offensively and everything. We haven't. If that was our team that we played Notre Dame at home this year, we just did what we did to Florida, Auburn, and Mississippi State. No telling. But right now, I'm gonna hold off on them being number one. I got a different number one. I'll let you go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. Tell me who your number one is.
Alabama. We'll take Alabama right now. I'm just telling you. I've
Yeah.
watched. I mean, I've watched a lot of football, and that quarterback's getting better. A&M's getting better every week.
That
But
quarterback threw for like
Alabama's,
200 yards this week. So,
hey, dude,
everybody
he's
keeps
good.
everybody keeps staying all over that quarterback. And I
Hey,
I
I'm
love it.
telling you, they
I
play
love you,
that
but
Missouri
look,
team is good.
Georgia
That
can't put
Missouri team is
pressure.
good.
Georgia can't put pressure on anybody. Vanderbilt doesn't have the same talent as anybody. The folks we're talking about in the SEC.
Hey, Vandy's about to beat LSU this weekend. Vandy's my pick to
Missouri,
beat LSU.
Missouri's definitely been probably the best team that they've played. Alabama.
Missouri's good.
They darn near lost that game, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. Missouri's good. I
Yeah.
think Missouri's going to be our
And
toughest test
and
that
let
we have
me end
left.
this by saying about Alabama is they got their ass kicked by Florida State in game one. And by
First
the way,
game of the
Florida
season.
State hasn't won a single game in the ACC yet. Not a single
First
game. So
game of the
I
season.
understand saying, okay, yeah, it was the first game of the season, so on and so forth. But not when it's a team that is so bad they can't
Let
win a game in the SEC. I'm
me give you
sorry.
a history lesson. A few years ago, Ohio State lost their first game of the season to Virginia Tech unranked. Ohio State went on to win the national championship that year. Only game they lost all season.
They
I'm
changed
just saying.
quarterbacks from the beginning to the end, too, though.
Saying teams get better. You know that teams get better. You
Do
learn from
get
their
better.
mistakes. The
But
Aggie
we're
defense
six
has
games into
gotten
the
better
season.
week in
We're
and
six
week
games
out.
into the season. We're 6 games into the season. Right now, the more impressive resume is the Aggie resume. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that. I just think this is my eye test. What I've watched, I
And just
think
so you
Alabama.
know, I don't even
That's
have them
my.
at two.
You're
I've got
asking me my
Bama at
opinion.
three. I've got Bama
My,
at three. And yeah, they got that win, like I said,
Ole
over
Miss.
Missouri.
You got who you got two?
Ole Miss.
Oh, Miss.
Let me tell you, and
Oh,
I know
Miss.
exactly what you're going to
Almost
say.
lost. They almost pulled the Penn State this week and lost to Washington
I know
State.
exactly what you're going to say. And listen, this is the cautionary tale for the Aggies because Ole Miss goes and plays Washington State, who we know isn't any good. And boy, they get down behind early and they had to come back and barely win that game, but they won. But
But they won.
this that team right now was definitely looking ahead to LSU this week, right? They were looking ahead to LSU this week, and careful, Aggies, don't start looking to LSU because
No, Ole Miss is
Arkansas
looking
bites
ahead
you
to
in the ass.
Georgia. Or Ole Miss is looking ahead to Georgia.
To Georgia. Sorry, they're
Okay, let me tell you
yeah,
something.
they've already got the win over
What?
LSU. They're looking ahead to Georgia. Sorry, to
Gotcha.
Georgia,
I feel
right?
you. Let me tell you, Washington State. I know they're good. They beat Idaho 13-10. They beat San Diego State 36-13. They lost to North Texas 59-10.
Who are you talking about?
Washington State lost to North
Listen,
Texas
I don't
59 to
care about
10.
Washington State. I will happily admit that Washington
59
State
to
is
10.
terrible. I will happily admit that
59 to
Washington
10.
State is terrible. Ole Miss has already got a big win over LSU, and they were looking ahead to
How
Georgia.
big is that win? Have you watched LSU? LSU should have lost this weekend.
Careful, because we play them in about 10 days. So
Dude, I just talked to an LSU grad today. He was a pitcher on their baseball team. He goes, "Hey, who do you like this weekend? LSU and Vandy." I was like, "Man, I kind of like Vandy." He goes, "I'd bet the house on Vandy." Is what he told me. He goes, "I watched LSU all season."
they're all
He
pissed
goes,
off already. Whatever.
he said Nussmeier's not as good as they say. He won't move in the pocket. He's a statue back there.
He's hurt.
I'm telling you,
Anyway,
something's not right.
listen, my point is resume matters, brother. And the Aggies are one, Ole Miss is two. Both of those teams are undefeated. Look, and Ole Miss is going to get to prove it this week because they got Georgia, and so now it's time. They're going to last couple of years they get their ass kicked by Georgia. Can they
Let me
go?
tell okay, their
I like the
resume.
kid.
Here's their
By the way, I
resume.
like the Chambliss kid. I think he's been excellent since they put him in as starter.
Has he? How good was he at Washington State against Washington State?
He
I'm
still
just
had
saying.
he still had some decent numbers actually, but
All right.
then I moved. Like I said, I got Alabama third for those reasons. I got Georgia number four.
Oh my God.
Win.
They should have lost this weekend too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and that's kind of my point. You get into these teams now, they're all jumbled up in there. This could change, drastically next week. But look, I think they're very sound on defense. They're not explosive on defense, right? They're very sound. They don't get a lot of sacks, whatever. But they don't give anything away. I think that defense keeps them in games. Kirby's obviously good at that, but I don't know. They could lose. They could lose next week,
Who?
Georgia. And they
Who? Ole Miss?
and they obviously lost and they obviously already lost to Alabama. I got Mizzou at 5, and I don't know,
I
Mizzou,
agree. I
Mizzou
like
could be
Missouri. I
4.
think Missouri should be higher. I think Missouri's good.
Yeah, they could be 3 for that matter.
I think they should be 3. I think they should be right there with Ole Miss.
Look, and we're going to find out about Missouri this week too because they play Auburn, right? And I'm not saying Auburn is this great team, but Auburn's going to test you, right? They've got athletes, they got players. Missouri's going to, if they don't show up against Auburn, then we can talk about the fact that oh yeah, they were overrated early in the year because they didn't play nobody, right?
Hugh Freeze about to get fired, by the way.
Probably.
If he
Tennessee at
loses this
6. I
week,
got
if
Tennessee
he
at
loses this week, he's gone. He's losing. Who's it? Is he playing Mississippi State this week, or is
He's
that
playing
Florida?
Missouri.
Oh, he's fired.
Playing Missouri.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
fired. Florida
Tenn-
might beat Mississippi State. Go ahead.
I got
I'm
Tennessee
listening.
at 6. Tennessee at 6.
God damn it, God! What are you thinking?
I don't know, man. They don't have any defense, but
What the hell? That's what I'm saying. What are you? Where are you seeing
they can
Tennessee at
score.
6?
I don't know. Big plays, man. Aguilar just big play machine. The defense gives up big plays.
God damn it! Let me look at this.
They
You're
run the
pissing me
ball.
off now.
It,
I don't even know where'd you pull this out of? Did you get with Phil Still and decide to
no,
make this?
no. And I think
Sure.
Tennessee is one that could easily you drop down very easily. I got LSU at 7, and that's all about the defense. That offense is terrible, terrible.
That's weird. You're saying it's all about the defense because LSU's defense sucked last year
Now they're
and
the
the year
only.
before that.
Now that's the group that's keeping them in it, right? Keeping them in it.
Jesus Christ! Hold on, I'm pulling up Tennessee right now. I want to see their body of work.
I got Florida at 8, at 2-4. But listen, I can't put them behind Texas. They just got done beating Texas, right?
Where do you have Vanderbilt at?
Oh, did I
Why are
skip
you hating
Vandy?
on Vandy?
I
How
got
many games
Vandy
has
at
Vandy
11.
lost?
I got Vandy at
How many
11.
how many games has Vandy lost?
1,
To who?
Alabama
And you got them down at where?
at 11.
God damn.
I got Texas at
And
9 because they just got done beating Oklahoma, so I can't put Oklahoma ahead of them, can I?
Oklahoma look both those teams look terrible. I'll tell you, Arch Manning's better than I gave him credit for. The guy has a good arm. He doesn't have an offensive line, but the
He
guy can
Look,
throw the
he's
ball. I
still
mean, he
he's
makes
still
some good
developing.
throws.
Right? That guy's still developing, but tools he's got every one of them. Tools he's got.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Look, and the Texas defense obviously put it on Oklahoma. I mean, Oklahoma, Mateer didn't have any help from his offensive line. They don't have a running game. That's the problem with that team is they don't have a running game. And I talked about it before the Texas game. If they line up and run the football, they will be able to win that game. And when they scored that touchdown, that's finally what they did. They handed the ball off to Wisner. That dude made some plays that opened up some things in the passing game, wide open touchdown, right? And so everybody wants to give all the credit to Manning. Look, most of the passes he completed in that drive were little screen passes to those wide receivers in the tailback. You know what I mean? So,
I do. I know what you mean. I saw it. I watched it. I watched us lose money on that game.
but that's who I got. I got Texas at 9, man. I mean, they won the game at the end of the day. That team came through. I got Oklahoma at 10 right behind them because I do think that Mateer being out for 2 weeks, not being able to practice, had a big influence on the result of that game and that offense. He looked like shit. He could have thrown 3 more picks than what he threw. But he's going to get better with the reps as coming into the next weeks. I think Oklahoma will bounce back, even though they got a tough schedule remaining too. I got Vandy at 11. Pavia, I think, is a stud. But if you go look at rosters, all around rosters, that rosters doesn't compete with any of the teams that I've named above them. I'm sorry. That roster's just
Dude,
not as good.
I can't disagree. Their roster didn't match with South Carolina's. It didn't match with probably Virginia Tech's.
It
They
matched with
beat
South
the crap.
Carolina. South Carolina's roster is basically Vandy, but less, probably worse coached, right? Like it's
Now you
because
say he's a
it's
worse
their
coach.
quarterback. It's their quarterback and a bunch of other
Last year
guys.
you liked Shane Beamer. You were like, oh, I like Shane Beamer.
I do like Shane Beamer.
Evidently, you say he's a worse coach.
No, he's a worse coach than the guy coaching Vanderbilt right now is doing a great job. I got to give him some credit.
Yeah, he's probably the next Penn State coach. Um.
I got
Anyway,
Mississippi State at 12, Auburn at 13, Arkansas 14, South Carolina 15, and Kentucky 16. There's my list.
all right. I disagree with you wholeheartedly on the entire effing list, just about. I mean, I like A&M up at the top. I'm afraid to give A&M that kind of respect yet. You keep winning, I'll give it all to you. But I like Alabama up top. I like A&M right behind them. Oh, dude, give me Missouri at three. Three, Missouri. I've watched them play. They're good. They make
Eh,
me nervous.
To me, that makes sense. If you got Alabama at one, Missouri played them tough. I mean, they could be three. That's not a. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. And then the rest of Georgia, I'm not a believer in Georgia, man. Georgia, I've watched. They should have lost to Auburn. Auburn was dominant first half. That kid went for the touchdown. The ball broke the plane. They didn't give it to him. Terrible call. Should have been Auburn. Either way, it didn't happen. Georgia, I'm not a believer. Their
They also
offense,
they also should have lost to, was it Tennessee?
Tennessee. Tennessee, I'm not a big believer in. They're like Arkansas. They're going to go up and down the field with you, but they're not stopping anybody.
All right, so
Uh,
who do you have at four then after Bama and Missouri and A&M?
that's man. I mean, it's just a debate on. I really think Texas is going to move up,
Texas
even
doesn't
though they
play
lost to
anybody the rest
Florida.
of the way. Texas doesn't play anybody the rest of the way. So
They
whatever.
play A&M.
Other than the Aggies. And by the
They
way,
play Georgia.
they're gonna lose to the Aggies. They're,
Don't they play Georgia?
they're gonna lose to Georgia too. So it's all right.
They don't play anybody. I like the way you say that. This ain't the Big Ten, mofo. They play Vandy.
They may lose to Vandy also.
That's what I'm saying. I think Vandy's going to beat LSU this weekend. Vandy's favored. Vandy's favored.
I I'm just I'm just shocked.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen to your
So
rankings
who's at
when
the bottom of your rankings?
Kentucky?
And we all take Kentucky out because we all knew they were last.
Dude, I'll tell you what, after watching Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma's going to lose a few more games. I was not impressed at all. I'll tell you what, I haven't been impressed with Oklahoma, Texas. I haven't been impressed with. Uh, I wasn't that impressed with Mississippi State.
I told you Texas wasn't making the playoffs before the freaking season started. I don't know why the hell you're trying to tell me you weren't impressed with Texas. I
I'll probably put Kentucky, and right now, I'd say the second team is either South Carolina or Arkansas. I agree with you on those. Down there at the bottom, I think Vandy should be moved higher. Florida, I think Florida's about to give up, to be honest with you.
look, you're 100%. Look, that I think that they're moving in the right direction because I think Lagway's getting better with more reps, but 100%, that team could absolutely drop off and, they lose the next game. They may all give up. They may fire Napier and the whole thing might, crash and burn. Who knows? And by the way, there
Yeah,
was words out of Lagway's mouth that basically said, "We got to start winning. Uh, or maybe I'm not going to be here anymore." He didn't say that, but that's how I interpreted it. So
yeah,
y'all folks that got the big checkbooks and are looking for a quarterback, just start dialing his agent's name.
I like it. Yeah. Hey, Eli Drinkowitz's name is going around, being tossed around for Auburn when Hugh Freeze gets fired.
Hmm. I think that'd be a good hire for them. I'm not a huge drink guy. I mean, I think
It's either him there or at Florida. That's the rumors.
yeah, I'm not a huge drink guy, but I mean, go for it, man. I don't mind that. You probably going to make two teams worse. So
But
whatever.
I mean, but you look at like you said about the SEC. I mean, dude, I mean, I don't think Kentucky can beat too many people in the
No,
SEC.
no.
South Carolina can probably win, surprise a couple teams here and
Now,
there.
look, if Sellers comes out and has a big, and that's one thing I don't understand. And you talk about a team that, look, Pavia, man, they put it on his shoulders. And this
Yeah,
Sellers group, that offensive coordinator, freaking Mike Shula, right? You former Alabama coach, that son of a bitch, and that offense is horrible. I mean, they don't use him in the run game like they used to. They don't get creative with how they deploy, the different motions and freaking misdirections and things to get people confused. That ball has got to be in his hands, whether it's running the football or throwing the football, man. And you got to give him freedom to go. And right now, he doesn't look like he has that freedom, and it looks horrible. It looks horrible. But I'm gonna tell you this: if you've got that guy, and someday freaking head coach over there says, maybe you need to stop calling plays, Mike, because we need to get Sellers more involved. That team to me is a team anybody could lose to, right? On any given Saturday, you could lose to other than Kentucky, you can lose to any team on this list.
I got a question for you, real quick. If we didn't have Marcel at quarterback,
Yeah.
And you had to pick another quarterback out of the SEC to quarterback the Aggies. Who would you pick?
Oh man. Uh
There's a lot of good ones.
I don't know if I don't know if I don't go with Chambliss at Ole Miss from what I've seen of him, dude. That dude's been really nice. I like him.
I mean,
Uh
I'd probably take Vanderbilt Pavia. I like that kid. The games, he seems like the game slowed down to him, and he just seems like a winner. I mean,
yeah, I
he's a
think
poor
Chambliss has
man's
got a better arm. I think
who?
Chambliss has got a better arm. At least in my opinion. I think he throws
Pavia is like a poor. He's a poor man's Johnny. That's what they're comparing him to. He's a poor man's Johnny.
poor man's Baker. How about a poor man's
I'll tell
Baker?
you. I'll tell you. I mean, Arch Manning. I think if you gave him our offensive line and our receivers and our Arch Manning could be dangerous as hell.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
telling
wouldn't like to start a game today. That's not my guy by any means.
No, I mean, but damn, man, there's a lot of talent. Talent Green over at Arkansas.
Kalen
Ooh,
Green's
son.
never wouldn't be a bad choice either.
Ooh. I mean, the Missouri quarterback, I like him a lot.
I don't. He's all right. Probula, I'm not too terribly
I
impressed
like
with
him a
him.
lot, dude. I watched him. I like
Yeah,
him.
but what he do against? He didn't. How many picks did he throw against Alabama the other day?
On two or three. I mean, he was pushing the ball. The last one was the end of the game. He was going deep.
Yeah, those throws were horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Hey,
Anyway,
let's take a quick look around the country. Ohio State looks good against Illinois 34-16. I mean, I don't know if they were dominant, but this is the remaining schedule. Wisconsin, Penn State, Purdue, UCLA, maybe the best team they face the rest of the way, Rutgers, and Michigan. If they lose a game, Ryan Day may have to get fired.
yeah, we talked about that. Yeah,
Indiana,
might
I
be a
think you said it earlier, man. Indiana may be the best team in the country. That was 30-20 over Oregon. It could have been worse.
yeah, yeah.
We talked
And
about
Oregon's a
Texas.
good team. Oregon's a good team. Don't get me wrong.
Oregon,
Oregon's good.
Oregon's a good team. That is a really good team.
Yep.
Um, Texas beats Oklahoma. Look, both of those offenses really look pretty terrible most of the game. Oh, Texas
Awful.
got a punt return for a touchdown out of those
Yeah.
23 points. Everybody wants to
Yeah.
talk Manning, but the fact is that offense wasn't great. Uh,
No.
Oklahoma's offense was just that much worse. The turnovers and what.
Yes.
Both offensive lines, by the way, are not good.
I
Uh,
agree.
Bama beats Mizzou 27-24. It was a close game. Mizzou had a chance there at the end. You got to give Mizzou a lot of credit, but they were at home too. So you got to give Bama a lot of credit for going on the road in the SEC and beating a team that was undefeated coming in. That's a very, very good win by Bama. USC absolutely stomps Michigan 31-13. Did you see that one coming?
Not even close to it. Nope. Well, Michigan's
Notre
been struggling on offense all season. Their quarterback Underwood, he's good, he's talented, but
There's another
they're not
coach that's
moving the
getting
ball.
fired this year, by the way.
Probably.
And they may should fire him right now so maybe they can get on this Kurt Signetti
And
bandwagon.
I think that's what's going to happen. Is a lot of these other teams are going to start firing their coaches to get ahead of these other guys trying to get the guy they want. That's why I think Hugh Freeze will be on the chopping block. Napier's on the chopping block. You see what I'm saying? They want
Yeah,
to get ahead.
because the list of guys that people are going to have to call, big time programs, that's a short list, my brother. That's a very short list.
Hey, do you think A&M's going to do what they did with Jimbo, where Jimbo had one good season? They're going to pay Elko like $100 million.
I imagine they're gonna pay Elko because somebody's gonna come calling.
That's what I'm afraid of too.
Hopefully, the
I'm afraid they
stressful
might
guy.
get gun shy and not pay him.
Correct. I mean, the downside of that thing might be if they don't pay him, right? Uh,
Yeah,
but hopefully they don't do it in a way that they basically mortgage the future, right? In the sense of fully guaranteed. Pay the guy and give him a payout, but you know, pay him well, pay him well, and if he wins, he continues to earn well, right?
right.
Hey, Notre Dame keeps making the Aggies look good, impressing 36-7 over NC State. So the big win for them. They're kind of marching through that schedule pretty easily after the 0-2 start. Big 12, now all about Tech and BYU, man. Iowa State goes down, Arizona State goes down. Tech and BYU seem to have separated themselves from the pack on this one. I think Tech's going to win the Big 12. I think it. I don't think BYU is going to be able to stop them, but we'll see, man. We'll see. That's going to be fun.
you see the ending of that BYU game?
No.
You missed a good one. They had to come back and go to overtime against Arizona.
Oh
That
yeah.
quarterback, Bear Brockmeyer,
Yeah.
he's a pretty tough kid.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, that defense that looked really, really good early on, they've given up some points in the last couple of games, but still, I mean, they're still really good. Uh,
Yeah.
Looking forward to week 8, man. We got Louisville at Miami. Miami's minus 13 and a half, 53 and a half over under. That's a Friday night game. Dude, does Louisville stand a chance here for the upset? What do you think? They were
I
getting a
don't
little
think so.
hype before the
I don't.
season.
The game's at Miami, so I don't think so. I don't think I like the under in that game, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm just not a Carson Beck fan, man. I don't know what's going on. I just can't. He doesn't excite me much.
Yeah, I think if this game were at Louisville, man, I'd give them a chance. I'd give them a
Yeah.
chance. At Miami, I have a hard time thinking that they're going to go down there and do that. Uh,
Yep.
LSU goes to Vandy. Vandy's favored by 2.5, as you said, 49 and a half over under. I mean, do you think Vandy's pulling it off? Are they taking the goalpost down to the river again?
Dude, I'll tell you what, the over under is 49 and a half. I'd go way under watching LSU's offense. I mean, the only way they get close to 49 and a half is if Vandy scores 35. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think I like Vandy. I mean, if
Yeah,
you
I
have an
mean,
offense that can score and an offense that can, is LSU's defense going to stop Vandy that much?
if they lose to Vandy, is Kelly getting fired?
Man, everybody might get fired this year. Who knows?
Nobody got fired last year, right? I don't think there was a single coach fired in the SEC last year. Maybe this year's the year.
Yeah,
You got Tennessee at Bama, 9.5 point favorite for Bama, 59 and a half over under. What do you think?
probably the over. I mean, I take Bama, but in the over.
Yeah, I think Bama wins this game. That's also a revenge game. They lost last year, so
Yeah,
they got to get them back. This might be the game of the week to me. Ole Miss at Georgia, 7.5 point favorite. Georgia, 54 and a half point over under. Georgia has dominated Ole Miss the last couple of years in spite of Ole Miss's success. What do you think? Do they dominate it
Georgia's
again?
favored by 7.5.
7.5.
That seems like a lot. I mean, Ole Miss might even win this game. Georgia, dude, I'm telling you, they should have lost that Auburn game. They should have lost Tennessee game, and they did lose the Alabama game. Georgia's lucky not to be 500 right now.
Yeah, I would take Ole Miss in this game.
Give me Ole Miss.
They could win
They'll probably
outright.
lose a lot of money on that game.
USC's going to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's minus 8.5, 61 and a half over under, man. This could be the last game Notre Dame has a chance to lose.
Dude, Notre Dame's on fire. I'm not. I'm going Notre Dame on this. USC just beat Michigan pretty bad, and then they got to go to Notre Dame. That's rough. Give me Notre
But,
Dame.
but Michigan isn't that Notre Dame offense, right? Notre Dame's offense is pretty darn good.
But
Uh,
you're going all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast, and
Also,
I
yeah.
mean you're playing a tough Michigan team. Michigan. No
I
matter what
wouldn't
you
say
say,
Notre
they're going
Dame's
to
on
hit.
the East Coast. I'd say they're kind of in the central, but sure,
No,
they're not on the
more
East Coast.
East. They're more East Coast, dude.
Notre Dame is not East Coast. But we'll we'll
More East.
we'll leave the geography discussion for later.
Where are they?
Missouri,
Chicago?
huh?
Where are they at? In Chicago area?
Yeah, just north of Chicago.
All right, they're more central.
Okay.
Still 2 hours.
Yeah. It's a long ways. That's across the country, no doubt. Missouri's
Yeah.
at Auburn. Auburn is a 1.5 point dog, 44 and a half over under. Missouri trying to bounce back, obviously, after this loss to Alabama, right? And Auburn, either the wheels are coming off or they're fighting for their boy Hugh.
Hugh Freeze gets fired.
If he loses this game, he gets fired.
Yeah, Missouri.
You calling it?
Yeah, Missouri.
Love it. Utah plays BYU. Isn't that the border war?
Utah's favored.
Utah's favored by 3.5, 48 and a half over under. I think
Might
Utah
be
lives
taking
on
the
its
under in
name,
that one,
man.
huh?
I think Utah's living on its name. I like BYU.
I like BYU too. I like the under.
Tech at Arizona State. Tech's plus 11 and a half.
No, Arizona State's plus 11
I
and a
mean,
half.
minus 11 and a half. Sorry. Tech's minus 11 and a half.
Tech just lost their quarterback.
Yeah, their backup was pretty good against who did they play against last time? He did pretty good. He actually was better than the starter in that game when he got a lot of reps and the Morton had gone out early in the
Yeah,
game
but
a couple of weeks ago.
if I don't even know if Arizona State's quarterback's going to play. He was out last game.
That offense hasn't looked good anyway.
Yeah, give me Tech. Probably
Question from
tease
the
it down.
tailgate, man. Toughest matchup remaining for the Aggies.
I've been saying it all the time. I think Missouri. What I've
Yeah, if you
seen
start looking at it
offense,
on the road at LSU, on the road at Missouri, on the road at Texas, those three teams, the Missouri has looked better so far, right?
absolutely.
And they got a ground game, right? That scares you, that's going to make you say, Um, LSU can't run the ball. Texas doesn't run the ball for whatever reason. Uh, yeah, I would agree with you, Mizzou. All right,
Yeah,
and here's the other one. Halfway mark, 6-0. And first question, what are you most impressed with from the Aggies?
their defense, interior. I'm impressed. I didn't expect them to be that good. I didn't expect To and I mean Regis. I thought was going to be good, but I mean they've been dominant. Like the last couple of weeks, the D line. How I thought he was going to be good. I didn't expect him to have what 8 sacks.
Yeah.
I mean the D interior D and the linebackers have been impressive to me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you, man. I have to agree. And most more specifically even, the thing I'm most impressed with was the fact that Elko and that staff made the changes after the Notre Dame game. They made the changes that they needed to solidify this defense to stop giving up those big plays, right?
Right,
They simplified some things. They let these guys start running, and it's allowed the linebacking crew, especially the linebacking crew, and the safeties, by the way, those two groups to come alive, dude. And those guys are now playing fast and furious, brother. And I love it. I love it.
right.
I got that to me is definitely the most impressive piece so far. What has surprised you the most?
Rio and KC. Those guys have surprised the pants off of me. I had no idea what we were getting when we got the two of them, especially Rio. I had no idea about Rio. KC, I read some stuff about, but Rio, nothing,
I think
not a clue.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. Rio, and I'm gonna give a shout out to one other Berkshire, man. Berkshire.
Oh yeah,
Those two
oh,
guys surprised the shit out of me. Surprised the
yep,
shit out of me. And I thought KC was gonna be awesome. But I didn't give Rio enough credit. That dude is an absolute baller, dude. I love him. And Berkshire has been a beast. I mean, what he does in the running game and blocking, and I mean, just this team wouldn't be the same without him.
true.
Last piece, what has been most disappointing, if anything?
Marcel's development,
Oh no, 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 no.
his arm. Yeah, I think he should be able to make those short passes better. His efficiency as a quarterback. That's it. I mean, I'm just nitpicking. I'm not saying disappointing wise. I mean, our special teams has been very disappointing.
That's 100%. 100%.
Our kicker and our kickers and
And punter.
punters, kicker Bond, yeah, disappointing. What happened to that guy that started the season off kicking?
Hurt. Look, I think it's
But
special.
I'm just saying,
I
Marcel,
think it's the
about
kicking
Marcel,
game.
disappointed that he hasn't
100% the kicking game.
calmed down on his short passes. They throwing a 100-mile-an-hour fastball to a guy that's a couple yards away from him. That's the only thing. And penalties. I was very disappointed with the penalties, but
Very
they fixed
disappointed.
them last game.
Penalties.
I'm nitpicking here. I'm nitpicking.
Yeah.
I can't. Marcel, I'm very happy with him. Don't take this the wrong way. I think he just needs work, more
Look, we've
work.
been we've been Aggie fans for a long time. We've been watching Aggie football for a long time. I don't I don't I've never felt like this about a team, right? That Johnny team, you still had questions about their defense, right? Even though in 12 the defense was pretty good. Uh, I, you know, I see this team, they have talent at every position, at every level. There's not one guy you sit in there and say, man, that guy's horrible. Anywhere on the field in the starting 22. And if you start looking at, even the second level of that, there's a lot of guys you like. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I
Absolutely.
I haven't felt this good this way about an Aggie football team in any of the years that I've been watching. I mean, maybe what was that? That '94 team was extremely good. I mean, loaded in talent, but
All right. Hey, real quick, we're halfway through the season. What's your predicted record right now? You said 11-1 beginning of the season.
yeah, I'm sticking with it. I'm
Who's the
sticking with it.
loss? Who's your loss? Missouri.
Yeah, I think Missouri's the one. Just you know, that's the one that worries me the most anyway, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, going to LSU, we all know about going to Death Valley at night, yada yada yada. We haven't beat them there. That's something to, a step to overcome, but I haven't been impressed with that team at all. And I don't think they can score enough points to beat us. And that's just my opinion. And Marcel's done well on the road. Um, so yeah, I think it's got to be. I think Missouri's the one that scares me the most. I mean, what do you think? What do you think had them finishing?
Man, I'm stuck on 10-2, and I hate that because I think Missouri, and I think something stupid's going to happen in the game that's going to piss us off, and we're going to be like, "What?" It'll be like maybe the first quarter of the Florida game. The first 5 or 10 minutes will be like the whole game. You're like,
Hey,
"The
and
hell are we watching?"
that's going to be a big shift, right? The 10-2 to 11-1 because of the fact that this year they're seeding the playoffs top to bottom, right? So it doesn't matter if
Yeah.
you're a conference champion or not, you're getting seeded top to bottom. And so who you end up playing, obviously very much affected by that one win
Hey,
loss.
I don't care who they play. A&M can beat anybody. The
Yeah.
way I've seen it, I mean, they might go 10-2 and have a hiccup, but they can beat everybody I've watched. The only team I kind of iffy about was maybe Ohio State, but I'm still not going to miss on Ohio State's offense. I think our defense is good when they're good, they're good. Our offense, when they're good. And if they can put those two together in one game
Any given
and
Sunday,
beat
right? Any given Sunday.
any, I mean, I'm telling you, when our offense is at its peak, we can play with anybody. When our defense is at its peak, we can play with anybody. You can't say that about Texas. When their offense is at its best, they score 23 points against Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I mean, people might be like, that's not their best. That's Texas's best offense. They're not
So
going to go
far,
out and score.
so
Huh?
far, so far,
Yeah, I
that's
mean, Texas goes and plays Notre Dame right now. Notre Dame beats Texas by 20 or 30, probably. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah. I agree with you. I agree with you. I think,
I mean,
and
I
I've
think
said
ten
it
and two
before,
is
right?
still
I've always thought that we had enough talent here to do it, and now that I think the coaching staff is doing a good job putting these guys in positions to be successful, and they are being successful.
they are. They're doing it. Elko's doing a good job. He's doing a really good job. Klein doing a good job. I think the whole coaching staff doing a
Hey, I
good
think
job.
you're doing a good job.
I think I am too. I appreciate that. I'm not gonna say shit to you. You're doing all right. Start winning some bets.
Yeah, Giga Mags from the tailgate.